Hey folks, it is UTB Brad with UTB Blogs. It is just after midnight here and I just got home and I got home to a package. The package is the new BlackBerry Mobile KEY2 LE. The smart thing to do would be to go to bed and do this tomorrow, but I'm kind of anxious to play with the new phone. And I know that I can't play with the new phone without doing an unboxing first. So let's get this unboxed and so that I can start playing with it. Okay, so we know that the BlackBerry KEY2 LE is a pared down version of the BlackBerry KEY2. It's the inexpensive version. It's made a little bit different. It's got a plastic body. It doesn't have the capacitive keyboard. There's a few subtle differences. It's really just a, like I said, pared down version of the BlackBerry KEY2, which is my favorite phone to date. I have really used the heck out of this phone, and I would really have a hard time putting this phone down, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to put down my KEY2 as my daily driver, and I'm going to use the KEY2 LE as my daily driver. I don't think it's fair to really judge the phone without putting it through all the works, right? So I could easily just set it aside and use it as a secondary phone and keep using my powerhouse KEY2. But like I said, I don't think that'd be fair. I want to be able to give a good judgment of this phone. So real quick, let's just run through the specs that's on the back of the box here. It is a 4.5 inch IPS 1620 by 1080 433 ppi screen. It's the same screen that you're going to get on the KEY2. Nothing new there. Octa-core 64-bit Snapdragon 636. So it's not quite the chip that we have in the KEY2, and I'm kind of anxious to see how that works. I know the KEY1 suffered a little bit of slowdown later on in its life, and I'm wondering how this phone is going to do. As the cameras, for the two rear cameras, we've got a 13 megapixel and a 5 megapixel. So we'll still have the bokeh effects and all of the fun little stuff that we've got with the KEY2 camera. But again, the cameras just aren't as good as what's on the KEY2. Just slightly lesser there. I believe the KEY2 has dual 13 megapixel cameras. But like I said, it's after midnight and I really don't want to go searching for that. Front camera, the selfie camera is an 8 megapixel camera, same as on the KEY2. Battery, slightly less on the battery. We've got a 3000 milliamp battery. I believe the KEY2 has a 3500 milliamp battery, so kind of anxious to see how this battery holds up. My KEY2 has no problem getting me through the day, which is probably one of the first BlackBerries that can hold up to what I do on my phone. My phone, I turn the screen brightness up all the way and my screen is on most of the day. Even with the Passport that I know a lot of people were getting 2 days of use out of, I couldn't make it 8 hours. The KEY2, I make it all day long. And I'm really hoping I can do the same on the KEY2 LE. However, it's a slightly smaller battery and the same screen, so I'm kind of anxious to see how that works. Those are the specs on the back of the box, and in later videos I will go more in depth about the specs and whatnot. Right now I just want to open this thing and get to playing. So let's get started. Okay, so here we have the BlackBerry KEY2 LE in the box. This is the Slate edition, it looks like, from the box. Haven't opened it yet. Raring to do that. How many times am I going to say it before I just do it? So let's see here. We're going to open up the box. It's got tape on the sides. And should just slide out And the box, very nice BlackBerry KEY2 LE written on the side there. And it looks like we are back to the flip-top box, which I am very happy about. I missed that after the Motion, and the KEY2 I don't believe had that. There is the phone in all its glory. That is a really, really light phone. The difference between the KEY2 and the KEY1, the KEY2 felt quite a bit lighter. And actually these feel pretty close to each other. Felt really light in the hand. I think it is a tad bit lighter than the KEY2. With the plastic construction, you would expect that. Set the phone aside for a minute and we will look at what's in the box. Little drawings there. Let's see. There we go. Inside, this should be our documentation. Limited warranty, guide in French, guide in English, and welcome to your new Android smartphone. They're really making it a point that it's Android, and that's a good thing since so many people think that BlackBerries still are not. We've got our typical charging block there. We have another set of headphones, thank goodness, because I broke my other set. Nice headphones. These look like they're going back to the Motion headphones, I believe. So I'll stick those to the side, and then we've got our power cord. There's our earpieces for our headphones. There should be a SIM key in here somewhere. Ah, there it is on the back of the documentation. So we see what's in the box. Nothing new there, nothing that isn't expected to be found in a BlackBerry box. Let's stick that to the side and get back to what's important, which is the phone. So here we have it. There are some changes. Let's go ahead and peel this off. Non-removable battery cover. I wonder if they ran into problems with people trying to remove the cover previously. And we have another rubbery back with a nice grip on it, comparing it to the KEY1. I like the looks of the KEY1 better than the, I'm sorry, the KEY2. I like the looks of the Key. It's after midnight, folks. Be nice. I like the looks of the KEY2 back a little bit more than the KEY2 LE. It seems a little nicer. The grip is smaller, just a little more premium feel. The BlackBerry bullets are kind of pressed in, whereas these just kind of sit on top. We've still got the dual cameras in back and the dual tone flash. On the front, there are some big changes here, namely the keyboard. Now, the keyboard is said to be a little bit smaller, and looking at it, it does appear to be, yes, it is a little bit smaller. Not so sure it'll be that noticeable. The key press feels great, just as good as the KEY2. And I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. But yes, it's true. The key, or the space key, sounds just like the rest of the keys. That's going to make some people very, very happy. We still have the new magic shortcut button. The fingerprint sensor is still in the space bar. We have our volume rockers, our efficiency key, and power button all in the same place as on the KEY2. We have our headphone jack and microphone up there, and the headphone jack, this is something that kind of bothered me before is that the headphone jack is not centered. And it looks like they kind of attempted to make up for that by putting this little divot here, but the hole is still not centered. I understand why. You've got a screen up front. It can't be exactly centered when you get this thin, but I'd like to see something done there just to make my OCD a little happier. On the other side, we have our place for our SIM card and our memory card. And at the bottom, we have our microphone, speaker, and USB-C. Now, this is a different design, probably because this is not a metal case. And, you know, using the plastics, you can't just get that fine detail in there. The screen, as we said before, is the same screen that's been on the previous models. Gonna go ahead and let that start powering up. You know what? I actually really like the feel of this. I was worried that with the different materials, it would not feel as premium as the KEY2. And there is a definite difference in feel. There really is. You can't deny it. You can feel the metal on this, and it's got a different feel than on the KEY2 LE. However, I really like the feel of this phone. It feels really good in the hands. Now, one of the biggest differences besides the design of the keyboard, this is not a capacitive keyboard. You won't be using this keyboard to scroll. You won't be using this keyboard to swipe up words. And that may be something that is missed. It's actually something that I felt was a poor choice. I felt like if we needed to save money in the construction of this to make this a cost-efficient phone, there was other places that we could do it, maybe on the memory, maybe on the processor. I really wanted to see the capacitive keyboard on this phone, and I'm really anxious to see how I use it, because I'm not much of a swiper. I rarely swipe the words up. I really don't know if I ever do. I do use the keyboard to scroll sometimes, but scrolling on the screen is not going to be a problem. I really don't know. I'm pretty sure that within the next few days, if there is a problem with this not being capacitive, I will notice it immediately. So there we have a really quick, very tired unboxing of the BlackBerry KEY2 LE. Now, there's some things to keep in mind here. This is the inexpensive KEY2. It comes in 3 colors, made in plastic. It was made to get the KEY2 into people's hands. There may be people out there that want the KEY2 keyboard. They really should. It's a great keyboard. And they may not have been willing to pay that premium price that the KEY2 carries with it. This is very inexpensive for what you get, and even though it is a step down, I imagine it's going to be well worth the price, and I'm going to find out. I will power this phone up, I will put my primary SIM in it, I will be using this phone, which is a really hard thing for me to say because I love the KEY2 so much, and the KEY2 really is just a more powerful phone than the KEY2 LE by design. So I want to see how this phone holds up to my normal daily use, and this will be the only phone I will be carrying for the immediate future. Now, when I do my videos, I try to talk about something I love and something I don't love as much. I used to say something I love, something I hate, but let's be serious. There's nothing I really hate about a BlackBerry phone. It's not an iPhone. So hate is a very strong word. So let's say something that I love and something that I love not so much. Now, I haven't even set this phone up yet, so calling out things I love and things I don't love so much may be a little bit difficult, but there are a few things right off the bat that I know. Number one, I love the keyboard. I know it's slightly smaller than the KEY2, but it feels so great. it feels just like the KEY2 keyboard. And even though it's slightly smaller, I don't think that's going to pose any problem. Something else I love is kind of goes along with the slightly smaller keyboard, and it's frets. Frets are back. I love the frets. Frets belong on a BlackBerry, and they are there. Now for things I don't like so much, there's no capacitive keyboard. I still kind of think at this point that may be a mistake, but as I said before, I don't really think I use the capacitive keyboard that much. I don't swipe. I don't really use it to scroll all that often. There's one thing that I do use the capacitive keyboard for every day, multiple times a day, and I'm kind of anxious to see how I deal with that, and I will go over that in my next video because I want to see the solution before I start talking about it. Another thing I don't like so much comes back to the keyboard again, and it is these little squares off to the side. Now, we've all had BlackBerry. We've all used BlackBerry for years, right? That's probably why you're watching this, if you're watching this. And there's a design feature that's always been on these types of phones with the frets, and it's that U-shaped chin. I don't know why we don't have the U-shaped chin. We've got the crossbar, and then we have two little squares. Now that's something that we had in the KEY2, was the two little squares, but there was no frets, and it was just kind of gap, gap, gap. We saw the same exact design on the Passport SE, and they carried it right over to the KEY2. I understand it on this type of phone, this type of design. I want my little U-shaped chin back on this phone, like the old bulbs of yore. And since I'm talking about it, since we do have the premium device and the budget-friendly device, why can't we just call it a bold and a curve? you know that's how you're thinking of it. We've got our bold, we've got our curve, but we've got a KEY2 and a KEY2 LE. At least they didn't call it a C, right? That would just be stupid. So I can tell you right off the bat, I love the feel of the phone. I love the looks of the phone. I really do. It is a plastic instead of a metal, but it feels nice. It feels really good in the hand. I like how this feels. I am actually very surprised at how it feels. I was really afraid it would feel cheap. I don't think it feels cheap at all. Feels nicer than a lot of those Samsung plastic phones out there. Now we just have to see how it holds up, and that's going to be the hard part. We know that it's a slimmed down version of the KEY2, and I am somebody that loves the KEY2 and puts it through its paces. I'm really anxious to see how the KEY2 LE holds up when being judged against the KEY2, and we will be finding out shortly. So keep it tuned to UTB Blogs. Please subscribe since you're here. We don't put out a lot of videos, but especially in this case, you can expect to see more videos of the KEY2 LE. So you want to know when those videos hit the subscribe button. We need you as subscribers, and we will see you next time with my next video on the BlackBerry Mobile KEY2 LE right here.